Hi again, everybody. This is Gertrude here, your book midwife. And in this module, I want to talk about how to develop a social media campaign and marketing strategy that can help you as an author to market and promote your book and to grow your database. Now, why is it important for you to grow a database? A lot of people attempt to sell books to one person at a time, which is totally ineffective. If you have a database of followers, people who love what you do, who will buy anything you write, you are already selling to the converted instead of trying to find new clients every single time. So when I work with authors, I make sure that from inception, from the minute you start writing your book, you start working on building your database and creating a following by blogging and by using social media. So the first thing that you would need to do is to look at restructuring all of your social media pages and making sure that they're communicating very clearly who you are. We make them look sleek and straight to the point so people don't get confused as to who you are and what you stand for, what you talk about, what you market, and what you promote. So it is great for your potential fans and clients to see that your pages speak directly to them. So that's one of the things that I've been helping all of my authors with. I normally recommend that authors use Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Pinterest to market and promote their books. And I will go into detail in a completely different workshop or e-course on how to use social media platforms to market and promote books. So one of the things that I would like to help you with is how to communicate what your expertise are, what your services are, what your wisdom, and the inspirational spirit that you put out into the world using the social sphere. I normally help authors to design a monthly calendar of 4 weeks of content, which we help you share and communicate information about you. They will include inspirational quotes, motivational words of wisdom, bits and pieces of your work. You could even start blogging chapter by chapter your book, along with current news and events that are related to the content of your book as well. One of the things that I love to do is to help authors connect and introduce themselves with online magazines, online influencers, online publications, and other interested parties who are in line with your interests as well. And one of the things I found about approaching, for example, social influencers is to, or even online magazines or publications, is to remember that it's always about them, not about you and your content and your book that you're trying to promote. You have to find an angle where they see the benefit for themselves in connecting and communicating with you. So how can you do that effectively? And the best way to do it is, again, by researching what they promote, what they talk about, and approaching them from that angle so they can see that it's a win-win situation for them to promote you. Now, by connecting with these users, we open up dialogues and we start participating in a conversation that highlights your expertise and that can refer back to your books and your services. This will not only increase your audience, but it will get you noticed online as well. So, a quick summary of the step-by-step strategy that one would use to create a following and a database using social media is, number one, to set up social media accounts and design all of those pages to be clear, succinct, and to communicate exactly who you are, what you stand for, and what you're about. Number 2, to design a monthly content calendar where you are posting every week content that's relevant to what you're writing. Number 3, you could start following relevant social media accounts or users, people who are in line with your genre, because the people who follow them would follow you because they have a similar interest. So, for example, I've been following influencers who have written books on how to write a book, people who teach using social media, who give away free e-courses on how to write, because they already have my target market. They have the people that I'm trying to attract. And I like to see what they're doing, how they're doing it, and if I can tap into their audience as well. So through Facebook, for example, there are hundreds and hundreds of groups on how to write a book. And if you Google right now on Facebook, you will find that I have the largest how to write a book group on Facebook. I think I've got over 6,000 followers, and it's happened very organically by my introducing what I do to my first 100 authors. And I asked them to tell 10 friends who've told 10 friends. And it's been very organic and natural in terms of how I'm growing my group using Facebook. So once we do that, we then start the introductions and ways to approach these influencers. So you can get onto their podcasts, you can get into their online magazines, you can get on their radio shows. Also start participating in online conversations that are relevant to what you do. There's a lot of open forums. Reddit is an excellent place to do that. Find places where there's forums that are discussing issues that relate to your content or your book. Now, for the first month, we will start off by setting up all of these pages and guiding you step by step so that you can learn to do it yourself. I'm always for empowering people and empowering my authors and my clients to learn how to do things themselves. It cuts back on all of your expenses. And once it's set up professionally, it's easy for you to follow up from there instead. So I hope that this has been a good way for me to introduce this concept to you. When I published my first book, I was an unknown author here in Wellington, New Zealand. Nobody knew about me. And I read an interesting book on how to get free publicity. And this book outlined step by step the things that you can do to approach a TV show, a radio show, and get highlighted. I also got into a lot of magazines by going for a professional photo shoot. I created 100 headlines of who I am, and I wrote 100 articles that I sent to editors of online magazines and even printed magazines. And I got published in 56 magazines that year. I can't even remember how many radio shows and podcasts I managed to attend. But it was just a way of my connecting with people who were interested in personal stories, and in particular in women's stories, and I got highlighted. But investing in professional photographs is crucial, because if you give them an article that is professionally written and professionally edited and a photograph that matches it, you will get published. So I will catch up with you in the next module. I hope this has kind of tweaked some ideas in terms of what you can do to get attention using your social media platforms as well. Catch up with you in the next module.